Do you like American eagles flying over your head with the power of God glistening upon you? Do you like overly competitive men in their 40s or 50s who are a bit unhealthy? Too many hot dogs and, burgers before the game? Do you like the old pigskin of football? Not that football. We're talking about American football. Yeah, America. Yes, we are talking about John Madden football, which released on, I think it was the Apple II? It was one of the Apple computers in 1988, and then the Sega Genesis in 90, and then the Super Nintendo in 91, which took some content from Madden 92 on the Genesis, and then later also came out on the Amiga. Who cares about the Amiga? Whatever. But I'm at the crossroads. I'm at the crossroads of fate when talking about Madden. On one hand, it's a game. And I would argue that not every installment, but a handful of Madden installments are well-made games that are fun. But on the other hand, some of them are effortless. Some of them are overpriced. And, as a collector, they flood the shelves. I will say this. I'm okay with Madden. I tolerate Madden. As a game collector, I have a few Maddens of the past. One of them that's important in my opinion is the original John Madden football on the, I have the Super Nintendo version. This is not the original release, but this is pretty much a combination of content from the original John Madden football on the Genesis and Madden 92 on the Genesis. It's kind of a culmination of that content spewed into this package. Now, this was always confusing. Let's say a Madden was released in 2007, they would call it Madden 08, the following year. Another example is, let's say in Madden 12 came out in 2011. And this one's even funnier. Madden 25 came out in what was that? Madden 25 came out in a completely random year. I want to say it was 2013 or 2014. Again, if there's any Madden enthusiasts, I apologize. I'm not super familiar with my Madden lore, but I will say this: it was totally not 2025. It was, 2025 has not happened yet. And my thing is, in the year of 2024, what are they going to do for Madden? What are they going to do this year? Because I'm thinking, this would be the year they would come out with Madden 25 in theory. Because, they do it they give it the name of the year after, like Madden 12, or Madden in 2012 would be Madden 13 in theory. Madden 92 was the Madden that came out in 91. And a little confusing stuff. But here's my thing. If you like Madden, I'm not going to stop you from playing it. I really hope you enjoy, playing the game. That would be not cool. If someone's having fun with a game, there's nothing wrong with that. Let them have fun with the game. But I guess as the fans, there's also nothing wrong with constructive criticism so that, maybe a future product is of higher quality. So I will say this. I see so many copies of John Madden football when I go to game stores. Oh my heavens. I walk into a game store and there is an absolute artillery of Madden copies for PS2, Xbox One, Xbox 360, not Nintendo, because they have a wish-washy history with Nintendo. They're kind of all over the place with releasing their content on Nintendo stuff. And I'll always be a little bit of a Nintendo defender. I try not to show bias in these videos because I think it's important to have a, to be fair to all the video game platforms. And I respect all the video game platforms, PlayStation's cool, Xbox is cool, Sega, their old stuff, that's cool. Atari, cool. All the other stuff I'm forgetting. Neo Geo Pocket is cool. I actually really like the Neo Geo Pocket. That thing's it's an interesting system, I will say. And obviously Nintendo, I have to admit, Nintendo's my favorite. I try not to play favorites, but Nintendo has always been my favorite. So I try to be as unbiased as possible, but if there's any bias, I do apologize. But they have a wish-washy history with releasing their stuff on Nintendo. Like they had Maddens being released on the Super Nintendo and the N64 and the GameCube and the Wii. And I think they did a little bit of stuff on the handhelds. I can't say that for sure, but I want to say they did some handheld stuff. Then came the Wii U. No, I don't blame them at all for this one. The Wii U, they released a few Maddens. They released Madden, I want to say they released 13 on the Wii U. And it kind of, not a lot of people bought the Wii U. So I'm one of them. I'm a loyal Wii U fan. Do I think it's a good system? Nah, I still love it though. I think it had a handful of good games, but it's definitely a weaker library compared to some of the other stuff. But in my honest opinion, comparison is the thief of joy. So I try not to compare because there's something inherently special about all these different systems in the collection, and there's something inherently special about every person watching this video. So please don't compare yourself to others. That's pretty random when I was just thinking about that. But oh my gosh, I forgot where I was yapping to again. Let me think here for a second. What was I talking about? John Madden football. John Madden football. The American dream, baby. John Madden football. But, you know what? I'll just start with this. My big gripe is they charge an abundance. They charge you for a full-priced game for the exact same game every single year. And every few years, I think they make a really meaningful change. Like every year, they don't actually make a meaningful change. And I am not personally, again, I don't want to speak on the behalf of a more seasoned Madden fan because I'm not familiar with the franchise enough to speak on its behalf like this. But from what I can gather from acquaintances, friends, family who indulge in the Madden franchise, what I will say is that the games have been getting a lot worse with time. Again, not to compare too much, but there was a certain charm about the Maddens of the past, Like two of them that I go to are, I cite a Madden 08, which a lot of people say is one of the best in the franchise. They just put love and care into this one. Likewise, this is the only Madden that I have truly put, like the one that I've owned, this is the only one I've truly played for at least like a abundance of time because me and my family used to play this one back in the day. But I think this was definitely a Madden of quality. There's a lot to do. There was just the interface. It's hard to explain with the art direction. Yeah, I know art direction in Madden. There was a real art direction in this game. They cared. They cared to make a well-made simulation of what's going on in real life, along with love and care. And don't get me wrong, the Madden games of today have better graphic fidelity, but do they have more love and care? Again, I don't want to speak on the behalf of Madden fans too much, because I'm not the biggest Madden fan. But as a guy who likes games, I will say they've definitely been lacking in love and care because EA as a company has been dwindling with time. I think a lot of people can agree with that. They're capable of making good games, but it's so wishy-washy these days. Wishy-washy is a Pokemon, fun fact. Wishy-washy. Yes, it's a Pokemon from Gen 7 to my fans out there. my Pokemon fans out there. It's a Pokemon from Gen 7. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Oh, I remember. Oh, after the Wii U, they stopped releasing Maddens on the Wii U after 13. That was like the early days of the Wii U. To be honest, understandably so, because it wasn't selling very well. I think it sold like a lifetime sale of like, what was it, like 13 million units worldwide. But my only thing is, I really do not understand what EA is getting at. They should put Madden on the Switch. Even if Madden as a game is a bit more lackluster than it used to be, the glory of maybe its older days where EA cared. I mean, the Switch is an absolutely massive fan base. And again, I do understand that the Switch is popular more worldwide, whereas let's say the Xbox is just more American loved and cherished. It's definitely not as worldwide as the Switch, because I heard that Xbox's presence in Japan is very not particularly impactful. But I still think they should put it on the Switch, because I mean, it's a big fan base. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of people in the States. There's a lot of people in the States that have a Switch. So I think that it's I guess I don't understand why they aren't putting it on the Switch, is what I'm getting at. It would make a ton of sense for me to put it on the Switch. But you know what I think it is? I think the company's a tad bit lazy. And again, who am I to say? Who am I to make a judgment about all of this? But from what I can gather, if Madden can run on the N64, the Super Nintendo, the GameCube, I think without a doubt they could put whatever kind of Madden they're putting on these modern day machines, just tone down the graphic fidelity, tone down the sorry guys, the video cut out. But yeah, what I was gonna say though, I think that they are capable of putting Madden on the Switch. That's what I'm getting at. It would be a great way to play it portably, that Madden action for the sports fan, But overall, is Madden the bane of my existence? Well, that's a little bit of a, I'll be bluffing a little bit to say it was the bane of my existence. Me in the past, maybe it was the bane of my existence. I remember being a youngster and I would always hear, you like Mario and Pokemon? Those games are lame. You should play Madden and, sports and racing. Don't ever let anyone stop you from doing your thing, being yourself. Life's too short to be anything but authentic, I would say. But yeah, this video definitely was blown out of proportion, and I've been going on all these side tangents. But, some things to point out about Madden. It's a franchise that, is it bad? No. There's some good entries. But I would say it is a conflicted franchise in general. I think they could put more effort into some of the games they've made for Madden, in my honest opinion. But if you enjoy Madden, and if you enjoy modern Madden, well, I'm glad you enjoy modern Madden. I hope you continue to enjoy those games. I hope they, continue to make you happy. But I've heard from a lot of fans that they could be doing a better job. And you can say the same about a lot of game franchises. Like I know Pokemon, that's easily one of, if not my most beloved game franchise ever. And they've been very iffy on those games. It's been hit or miss, unfortunately, for Pokemon games these days. I want to say though, I don't think that what they're making is just purely bad. I think the weaker Pokemon games they've made lately still have merit, and I think what they do right should still be appreciated. They do a lot of things right. They do some things wrong, 100%. But you shouldn't discredit all that they do right or all that they do wrong because, wait, what am I talking about? Oh, I don't think you should discredit everything they do right because they do some things wrong. Now, granted, yeah, like Gen 8 and Gen 9, there are some big things they do wrong. Big things they do wrong. especially Sword and Shield, in my opinion. I gotta be honest, I was not a huge fan of Sword and Shield, but I still played it like 400 hours into it. I still put my hours into Sword and Shield. As a Pokemon fan, still liked it, but I don't know. That one, they could have put more effort into that one. Scarlet and Violet is a bit more redeemable than Sword and Shield in my opinion, but that game has some pretty bad frame rate issues. But I like the Pokédex. It's got a pretty good Pokédex, and I can definitely appreciate that. I'm talking about Pokemon now. This is blown out of proportion. I guess what I'm getting at is, don't ever let anyone stop you from doing your thing. If you're doing something and you're not hurting anyone, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Just do your thing. But, yeah, I'm yapping now. I've got to go. Peace.